morning. I'm here in the Nottinghamshire countryside with the Yamaha Motocross Experience to try something a bit new. So today I'm going to be having a go on the track here at Bevercotes on a Yamaha 250, and then we'll see where we go from there. So yeah, it looks pretty set up. It's dry-ish. There's a few clouds around, but yeah, looking forward to a good day. At the Yamaha Motocross Experience, they have the full Yamaha range available for guests to try, including the YZ450, the YZ250 2-stroke and the YZ250 F4-stroke, the YZ125, and for those with shorter legs, the TTR 125 field bikes. Before you're allowed out on track, you have a bit of practice at going around corners. So first of all, we do it the easy way, round to the left, and then when you're ready for something a bit more adventurous, we change it round and we went round to the right. After that, we were allowed out onto the track, and for those people who have been riding dirt bikes since they were children, I apologise for just how slow this actually is. You might notice that the track looks a little bit rough in places, and this is because they've had to close the circuit due to COVID since March, and it has been ploughed before we were allowed out onto it. The first thing was a run up a hill, and then to crest along the top of a ridge where you had some views of the surrounding countryside. As the day went on, the big muddy clumps did weather in. The bit that I struggled with on the first run out in the morning was the hill to descend to get back to the start. I know it doesn't look like much when you see it on here, but it seems to be really steep from the top when you've got no confidence in your ability to stop. So I did my first few runs down on the grass on the right, which then was some fun trying to get back onto the line at the bottom. And the bikes are more than capable of going down, so it really is just something in your mind. So if you can get past the fact that it looks kind of steep and you don't feel like you have any control and can just go with it, it's something that you do pick up very quickly. In the morning we had 4 sessions, 15 minutes each out on the track, which was great to slowly build up the skills and to try and work out what on earth I was supposed to be doing with the bike. I don't think I got a lot quicker, but my confidence levels did improve. And then finally, after the 4th session, I went down the hill for the last time and we had the stop for lunch. So that's the morning session done. I found out that I am pretty terrible at it. I managed to get around the circuit. Didn't do myself an injury yet. Managed to get up and down the hills. So I've got a bit of a pause for lunch now, and then we're going to carry on in the afternoon. But it's pretty windy. So yeah, no, it's been fantastic. So we're just riding the WR250F at the moment. I'm in the novice group, as you'd probably expect. But it's amazing to see the guys in the more experienced group on the bigger bikes just flying up and down these hills. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. So after enjoying the sunshine at lunchtime, we headed back out onto the track, and initially the circuit was the same, so to head up the hill and then round to the left and along the top. But then instead of taking a left turn back down the hill as we had been doing in the morning, there's an extra section at the top that we were able to use. So this again had been ploughed due to the closure because of COVID, but fairly soon it broke down and there was a line through the middle of it that we could try and follow. Thankfully the Yamaha guys were there to both just show just how slow I was going, but also they helped a lot with making the trail through the mud. There were a few more bumps on this and also a few more right turns which I could really struggle with, and then one more climb after cutting across the grass to get back to the top, and then that took us into the hill with the same descent back down to the start. What I would say about the day is that if you've never done this before, and despite my advancing years I'd never tried motocross, I'd say it's definitely a lot more physical than some of the other off-roading that I've done. I think that I'd have to go back a few more times before I really get to grips with it. But some of the other guys who were in the session with me, this was their 2nd or 3rd time, just their starting point was way ahead of where I was. So I think that after a few more days and a bit more practice, maybe trying some of the more varied courses where there's some more hard pack and single track, then I'm hoping my skills would improve. So I've been riding for about 8 years, and this was a completely new experience for me. It was new skills that I've not had to use before when I've been riding on road, and even though it is a completely different riding style, I think there's certainly some transferable skills and some confidence building that can come from this. So if you happen to have a Yamaha Motocross Experience coming to somewhere near you, I can definitely recommend looking them up on their website or on Facebook and booking yourself in. You will definitely have a blast. So there we go, made it to the end, survived. I think I got a bit better as the day went on, managed to get up and down the hills on the right lines. yeah, if you ever want to have a go at motocross, I can definitely recommend the Yamaha MX Experience. Tom and his guys, they've just done a sterling job today, and I've come into this being a complete novice, having never done any motocross before, and I've just got on the bike, you know, took it slow to begin with and worked my way up, and yeah, I've had a blast. I'm knackered and my hands hurt and my arms hurt and my back hurts, but in a good way, and yeah, I've had a really good day. So yeah, Yamaha MX Experience, look them up. Cheers.